All right, very good. So the first thing to look at is your instrument. So this is a needle holder. Put your index about here, middle finger here, and then you work it up. And typically we want the suture about 15 centimeters. I'm using a PDS suture. So the first goal is to grab a little far from the tip of the needle, or the back of the needle rather, so it can actually move around like this. And this allows it to go through the port easy. And then I'm going to use a Hunter grasper. If you notice, I don't put my entire thumb inside the Hunter grasper. It's just easier to do it exactly how you would do in open surgery. You can get used to this. And we have a model on the inside of an artificial small bowel, and we're gonna suture first with the model side to side like this, simulating a jejunostomy. And then the next step is, the more difficult step is, you'll have the model situated vertically. So this is situated horizontally. If you have the model situated vertically, you'd actually simulate what a gastrojejunostomy would be. Again, we're gonna now do the setup that looks similar to a gastrojejunostomy. So I have grabbed the needle on the suture, you can see here. And then I'll put it in. Once you're in, you want to make sure you load. So to load, you grab underneath the tip of the needle. That allows you to move that suture around to wherever you're comfortable, and then you can load. So I'm loaded right here. Then the first thing I do is I need to get that posterior layer. So, all right, so I got the edge of the posterior layer here. So you can see this is an artificial small bowel that we used before. So you can actually use it several times. What's difficult about this gastrojejunostomy setup is that you have to learn to backhand like that. So I'm gonna grab here. I wanna make sure I'm at the corner. Okay. All right, very good. Always keep the needle in view. You don't want to pull with the needle outside of view, because if you're working towards the liver, towards other organs, the colon, the needle becomes like a spear. Okay, so now I'm going to pass point with my left hand, not grab at the tip. Make sure I'm not pulled back. I'm going to make this a little shorter. Okay, so I'm going to bring my left hand in, and that allows the suturing to be easier. And as I said, it is the left hand that does most of the suturing. So I'm been around it. I'm going to grab that tip. Once I clear the loop, I'm going to park my right hand down. I'm going to only pull with that left hand. So until I can feel it's taut, then all what I have to do is bring the left hand back. And I'm always ready for the next one. Like that. And every time you just bring that left hand back, you can go back and forth. You throw it this way, you throw it the other way. Perfect. So now I've gotten the corner. So I'm going to go try to get the posterior layer. Okay, so I got that. Steady the tissue. You can do it from coming top down, or you can do it, I'm going to show you how you can do it from the bottom going up. And it involves loading the needle differently. Again, tighten to load. So you can do it going from the bottom going up. It's important to learn both, because sometimes the tissue sits in a way that makes it easier to do one but not the other. And hold this back, the edge here. So you want to do this after you've learned the other part, because the other part is easier. Go and grab the tissue there. I can feel the needle there, but I'm not going to let go until I'm happy that I can get it. All right, so okay. So obviously this setup is like a more difficult level than the other setup because of how the bowel is lying, but it's important for you to learn both. So now, to be able to do it from below, I have to turn the needle away from myself like that. So this is important. Now I lock the needle holder, come in, take the bite here, and then take the other bite on the other side. Okay, I can see it there. See the shadow of it. I can feel it also. Okay. So now I'm like halfway in the posterior layer. I keep tightening. You can always examine it, make sure that you're happy with it. Because as we said in the JJ setup, first step is to be able to do it. Second step is to be able to do it and check the integrity and it looks good. Third step is to start timing yourself and making sure that you can improve your time, complete the task, make sure that it's done appropriately, there is no dog ears or leaks, and that you're improving time. So you can see I'm inside out, now I'm coming outside in on this side, and once you reach the corner, then you can actually turn and start anteriorly. So I think every time I grab the suture, tighten, pull back until I can feel it tightening, and you just keep going. And after a while, you'll realize that there's kind of a flow to what you're doing. Again, so I am outside, so I'm going to go outside in. And now after this, I'm going to start turning the corner. All right, good. So this is now the posterior layer complete. So this artificial small bowel, the Velcro was not working well, so I sutured the Velcro to the bowel itself. So now I am inside there, and as we said, if you're inside on one side, you can just go inside to the other side. Now here, when you come to this corner, you have to turn the needle around. See how I did that? This is what makes this part just a little bit on the difficult side. I have to grab here, and then make sure I'm not crossing my hand, and I come inside out, outside in, sorry. Once I am inside, I can cross to the other side, straighten the needle, cross to the other side, as if there is a tunnel between these two pieces of bowel that allows me to go from inside to inside right away. So again, tighten, and you can see I'm starting to kind of round up the corner. So again, I'm going to load forward to get this side. And always try to make sure that your bites are equidistant. You're not going far in terms of from the edge, and at the same time you're not traveling too much. So again, I'm going outside in, and you want to end with your suturing on the outside. So I'm going to end the suture on this side, and that will allow me to do the last layer. Alright, so now this is the, I always tighten on the outside, on this side. So once I tighten this, now I have completed the posterior layer, and I've started the anterior layer on this side. So I started from 3 o'clock position here, did the entire posterior layer, and now I've turned the corner a little bit, you can see. So now what I do next is I take the other suture, put it in, and again, as I said before, to load, you grab underneath the tip, you load, and now I know exactly where my last suture started because I have that suture sitting there showing me. So I got the corner. If you can't do it like this, you can back it up, like backhand the needle to do it. So I'm going to show it for demonstration. So once you get this side, you grab the needle. As we said, you take the suture to turn the needle around. And then now you can lock yourself. And this is what allows you to take the corner here. Right there, like that. And again, I want to keep the needle in view. You don't want to pull the suture with the needle completely outside of view. So I want to find this. And sometimes if you have too many sutures, you can get confused. You don't want to get confused and tie this to this, because that will not be good. The suture can unravel. So that's why in surgery, because we make 2 layers using 4 sutures, every time I cut the corner, I actually like finish the corner, cut the suture. Here I left it so I can show you that you can actually make sure that you got the corner by identifying the last suture. So you leave a little bit of suture that allows you to know that you've not missed the corner, because leaks happen at the corner. Alright, so this is, and if I have any doubts, I can tie it to the other one, to this one, like that. All right, perfect. So I'm going to cut those sutures, those corner sutures, so they're not in my way, and then I'm going to continue going. All right, perfect. All right, perfect. Okay, so now this is kind of the home stretch. Again, to load, grab underneath the tip with your left hand. And then I'm going to come outside in. And I will go inside out to make sure I've gotten the corner. So let's say I can't see it, I can need to work on finding what exactly is the issue. So do I see it on the outside? I don't. Last thing I can do is just to pull it like that. Yeah, I can pull it out, redo it again. So I'm going to load better. Okay, and then I'm going to go make sure that I can exactly see the corner. Okay, and you just keep going. Grab grab underneath the tip. Get this side out, side in. And once you go a little bit, you can now do it in one like that. You don't have to backhand it. Once you get the corner and you've secured yourself that your corner is taken care of. Always, you don't pull with the needle, you pull with the suture. Grab the suture, pull outside. And when we do this in hand-sewn gastric bypass, after we finish this layer, we actually pass a 32 French tube so it can gauge our anastomosis, because we want the anastomosis not to be too big, not too small, but also not too big. Then once we do that, we actually do another layer. So this anastomosis is actually one layer using 2 sutures. In patients, we actually do 2 layers using 4 sutures. So again, you want to examine and make sure you're not traveling too much and that you're not going so far from the edge. Okay, almost there. Maybe 2-3 more bites. So that pulled through. Maybe it didn't. All right, so a couple more. But these are the principles of creating a hand-sewn anastomosis, and they're very helpful in many other surgeries. If you're doing an ileocolic anastomosis, you can do it like this. If you're doing a colocolic anastomosis, you can do it like this. I've done bile duct to duodenum with like a obstruction, distal column bile duct sewn obstruction like that. So it's a very, very handy way of reconstruction that works very well. So again, the suture, I'm gonna grab, I'm gonna pass point a little bit. I won't pull back, bring my hand in. And as I'm doing this, my left hand motion is very slow and deliberate till I grab the suture. And then you can see this is to make sure it's a square knot. Now every time I just have to bring my left hand back. This really makes the suturing, so you can see here, another square knot. So every time you just have to make sure you bring your left hand back. So if you're having difficulty like this, straighten the suture. All right, and I think that concludes our last anastomosis, and I'm going to turn it around just to show you how it looks, and we'll see how it looks. You can see this area here, maybe. Actually, it's okay. You can see this is the entire anastomosis. Yeah, you can let go of that there. And thank you. And we'll examine it. Perfect. You can see this is the entire anastomosis. This is the Velcro in the back on both sides. And you could examine it always, make sure it looks good, but also time yourself how time it took you. All right, thanks for watching.